Hello everyone, Pem here, and welcome to a new Let's Play. We are playing the game Mass Effect by BioWare. We're getting back to a proper, I would say, proper RPG after playing Diablo 2. You know, Diablo 2 is technically, I suppose, an RPG in that you build a character that is a certain class with certain skills, and you're completing quests and getting rewards for them. But it is not an RPG in the sense that it doesn't have choices. You have to kind of just do the quests. So I wanted to get back to more what I did in the Skyrim LP, which again is not quite as choice-oriented as, say, a BioWare game like Mass Effect or Dragon Age or Baldur's Gate. But, you know, Bethesda games have their fair share of ability to roleplay, I think. At least the ones that I've played have. You can be pretty creative with your character, and a lot of the mods allow you to roleplay even more than the vanilla game does. With Mass Effect, this is going to be a focus more on character and choices than it is on something like Diablo, where it's action and reward. This is going to be much more about the development of the character as he goes through his story. And yes, I said he, because I'm going to play as the male Shepard voiced by Mark Meer. I know that everyone says that Jennifer Hale is the better voice actor of the two, that playing the Fem Shep is, you get the better experience, which I agree with. I do think Jennifer Hale is the superior voice actor. Not that Mark Meer is bad, but I'm going to go with the male character anyway, because I played a female character in Skyrim for about 9 months, and I'm still not quite ready to go back to trying a female character again. I think it worked out for me in Skyrim, but got a little bit tricky in terms of trying to be the character, I suppose. Anyway, I won't waffle anymore about that. So here we are, Mass Effect. I am going to play the whole trilogy, but I'm going to take breaks, I think, in between games. So I'll Let's Play Mass Effect, and then I'll move on to some other game that's not a BioWare game, and I'll play that, and then I'll come back to Mass Effect 2, and I'll play that, and then I'll go on to a game that's not a BioWare game and play that for a while, and then I'll come back and LP Mass Effect 3, and we'll get the whole trilogy, and it'll probably be over the course of like 2 years or something like that this will happen, but that's my plan anyway. So, let's get into it then. Let's not waste any more time. Mass Effect, everyone. Oh, right. I have to actually start a career. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why I thought it was going to go right to a
Welcome to
video.
Alliance Military Database.
Oh, yes. Very cool and a huge time waster.
Requested.
I like what they did with this. This is fun, but it also just takes a lot of time when you've played this game multiple times and you don't want to have to bother with all this crap. Like this. I'd rather just get to the character creation than go through the cool
Secure
graphics.
connection
And,
confirmed.
oh boy, I'm in an actual computer system. But that's just me. New ID. We're going to say custom
Please
mail.
log in to access your profile.
And our hero's name is Malcolm Shepard, which comes up almost never, his first name, but still. Malcolm seems to fit. I like the name Malcolm with Shepard. He just seems like that kind of guy.
Warning.
What?
Data corruption detected.
Goddamn Alliance IT.
Please reconstruct profile.
Right.
Confirm pre-service history.
Well, my Shepard, Malcolm, was a colonist. He was born and raised on Mindwar, a small border colony in the Attican Traverse. When I was 16, slavers raided Mindwar, slaughtering my family and friends. I was saved by a passing Alliance patrol, and I enlisted in the military a few years later. So from a very early age, my Shepard has known loss and heartbreak and has clung to the people that have made him feel safe, hence his career in the military. And he's got a lot of sympathy, I think, for people out in the colonies, because he knows how dangerous it can be.
Confirm psychological profile.
Going with the loss and trauma theme, My character, Malcolm Shepard, is a sole survivor. During my service, a mission I was on went horribly wrong. Trapped in an extreme survival situation, I had to overcome physical torments and psychological stresses that would have broken most people. I survived, while all those around me fell, and now I alone am left to tell the tale. So yeah, pretty traumatized dude, this Shepard, and knows the value of good leadership. Feels maybe some survivor's guilt for being the only one to survive the mission on Akuz, which they haven't mentioned that it's on Akuz yet, but I know that it is.
Confirm military specialization.
What class are we going to be? I'm going to go with Vanguard. I've played I've played 4 classes. I think I've played this game 4 times total. I played 4 classes, and Vanguard I think is the most fun. I enjoyed it the most. It's perhaps, I've not checked out a lot of other Mass Effect LPs, so I don't know what ones people tend to choose the most. I would think that Vanguard is pretty popular, though, just because of how badass it is. But maybe I'm wrong. My other favorite is Infiltrator. Actually, that was a lot of fun too. But I'm going to go with Vanguard. So Vanguards are biotic warriors. They combine biotics and weapons to take down opponents, and are especially deadly at short range. They use pistols and shotguns and can specialize in medium armor. And what will be my bonus talent? I'm going to say First Aid.
Confirm facial identification.
I'm going to go with the default face, because to me that is Shepard's face. If I hear Mark Mir's voice and don't see that face, it feels weird.
Profile reconstruction complete.
Excellent. So, again, the soldier's name is Malcolm Shepard. Originally a colonist, has a reputation as a sole survivor, serves as a vanguard in the Alliance military, and has the added talent of First Aid. Let's get to it, shall we?
Identification confirmed.
Combat difficulty. Let's go with normal for now. I can always turn it up or down if it gets more crazy. Auto level up, off. Should I go with veteran? No, let's go with normal. Normal's fine. Target assist, I'm going to say low. Squad power usage, active. Defense only, I think. I like to have a little bit more control, but I still like them to be able to do things on their own that I'm not going to necessarily think to do every second, you know. Subtitles and autosave on. Here we go, everyone. Mass Effect.
Well, what about Shepard? He grew up in the colonies.
He knows how tough life can be out there. His parents were killed when slavers attacked Mindwar.
He saw his whole unit die on Akuz. He could have some serious emotional scars.
Every soldier has scars. Shepard's a survivor.
Is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
That's the only kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
I'll make the call.
In the year 2148, explorers on Mars discovered the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. In the decades that followed, these mysterious artifacts revealed startling new technologies enabling travel to the furthest stars. The basis for this incredible technology was a force that controlled the very fabric of space and time. They called it the greatest discovery in human history. The civilizations of the galaxy called it Mass Effect.
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. The board is green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1. Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment. So you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead. So that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
You always expect the worst.
Well, bad feelings are an occupational hazard. But we don't go anywhere unless there's a good reason, so... What are we doing here?
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance Brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here.
Ooh.
Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
I heard the man.
I'm on my way.
Is it me or does the Captain always sound a little pissed off?
Only when he's talking to you, Joker.
Right. So here we are. Mass Effect. Shepard, Joker, Kaidan. Incidentally, this game opens with my two least favorite characters jibber-jabbing at each other. I'll get into that later. Let's begin by hitting the Codex. Now, I'm going to, I think, read all the items in the Codex that aren't tutorials. Just because I feel like it, BioWare took the trouble to make this incredible world, and that's one of the things that appeals about this game series to me the most, is all the thought they put into the universe. And it would seem a shame to play the game and not enjoy all the aspects that make it great. And one of those aspects is the Codex. So if you'll bear with me, I'm just going to read through these. I'll try to make it brief. And the primary ones I'll let the narrator read, even though that takes longer, because I'm not going to shout over the dude. But let's start with my personal history summary. I was raised on Mindwar, on the fringes of the Attican Traverse. When I was 16, the colony was raided by slavers, the entire settlement was razed, and my friends and family were slaughtered. A passing Alliance patrol rescued me, but all I loved was destroyed. I enlisted with the Alliance military, eventually volunteering to go to Akuz, a colony that had mysteriously dropped out of contact. As soon as it arrived on the surface, my patrol was attacked by thresher maws, mindless abominations of teeth and tentacles that rose up from beneath the earth. Constant gunfire couldn't drown out the shrieks of my fellow soldiers as they were dragged down to a gruesome death. 50 Marines died on Akuz. I was the only one who to make it back to the landing zone alive. A monument on the planet commemorates the massacre, a grim reminder of the price humanity must pay as they spread throughout the stars. The timeline, I think we get this information generally from other sources. Perhaps the only things to note, the year that I was born, 2154, and then the current year, 2183. So there's that. This one, we just mark all that red. And then let's go to the primary, and just bear with me, you guys. Just listen to the narrator describe these things here.
Roughly 1,200 years ago, the Turians were invited to join the Citadel Council to fulfill the role of galactic peacekeepers. The Turians have the largest fleet in Citadel space, and they make up the single largest portion of the Council's military forces. As their territory and influence has spread, the Turians have come to rely on the Solarians for military intelligence and the Asari for diplomacy. Despite a somewhat colonial attitude towards the rest of the galaxy, the ruling hierarchy understands they would lose more than they would gain if the other two races were ever removed. Turians come from an autocratic society that values discipline and possesses a strong sense of personal and collective honor. There is lingering animosity between Turians and humans over the First Contact War of 2157, which is known as the Relay 314 incident to the Turians. Officially, however, the two species are allies, and they enjoy civil, if cool, diplomatic relations.
Very good, thank you, narrator. And now on Humanity and the Systems Alliance.
The Systems Alliance is an independent supranational government representing the interests of humanity as a whole. The Alliance is responsible for the governance and defense of all extrasolar colonies and stations. The Alliance grew out of the various national space programs as a matter of practicality. Sol's planets had been explored and exploited through piecemeal national efforts. The expense of colonizing entire new solar systems could not be met by any one country. With humans knowing that alien contact was inevitable, there was enough political will to jointly fund an international effort. Still, the Alliance was
Seems
often
far off in our
disregarded by
present
those
world.
on Earth until the First Contact War. While the national governments dithered and bickered over who should lead the effort to liberate Shanxi, the Alliance fleet struck decisively. Post-war public approval gave the Alliance the credibility to establish its own parliament and become the galactic face of humanity.
So there you have it. Earth's governments, while they still exist, are kind of a thing of the past as far as power goes. Everything that humanity is now is represented by the Alliance on the galactic scale. Let's check the journal. Prologue on the Normandy. We're speaking to the captain. We'll be doing that shortly. And then, of course, here's our beloved Malcolm. We have 3 points to spend. Let's spend one of them on first aid. Let's spend one of them on pistolas, and let's spend one on Vanguard. Okay. Right, so then, back to the game. And let me say, this game, I love this game. I love this whole series, but this game I think is the best one. Well, maybe not the best one. This one is the best story, certainly. What's all this? Presley.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
I am, yeah.
I'm on my way to give him a status update right now.
With all due respect, sir, maybe he'll finally tell you what we're really doing out here.
For a second, let me just say, I kind of forget. I'm so used to when I am talking in a game, when my character is talking, I'm so used to doing the speech myself, right? Either Anai, Gore, Lucius, and Diablo 2 don't have voices most of the time. You're just kind of speaking for them. But now I've got an actor doing it for me, so I'm kind of like, I'm saying, what do you mean? And then Shepard says something equivalent to, what do you mean? What do you mean, Presley?
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
Tell me about the Spectre.
You don't trust Nihilus.
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
That was 30 years ago. You can't blame Nihilus for that.
No, I guess not. But it still makes me nervous to have a Spectre on board. Especially a Turian. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihilus doesn't answer to the captain like the rest of us. Spectres operate outside the normal chain of command. And they don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihilus looks like he's expecting some heavy action. I don't like it.
Well, what about the captain? You said that you thought it was weird that he was here.
Do you have a problem with the captain?
No, sir. But I can't figure out what he's doing here. Captain Anderson is one of the most decorated Special Forces officers in the service. If he melted down all his medals, he could make a life-size statue of himself. You don't send a soldier like that on a do-nothing mission. He's treating this shakedown run too seriously. Something big is going on.
Could it have something to do with the stealth systems on our Normandy?
What do you know about the stealth systems?
I just know it masks our location from scans and sensors. Cutting-edge technology.
Sweet.
The Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. But why are we fully staffed?
Because we're awesome.
A skeleton crew would be cheaper. Less chance of security leaks, too.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, there's Nihilus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is just a cover.
Cover?
For what?
Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the dark.
Alright, well, if I get a chance to ask the captain about it, I'll do it.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
So, in case you hadn't already guessed, this game, this LP rather, is going to be slowish. I'm not going to speed through it. I'm going to talk to a lot of people. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to probably stop and think for a while about decisions and dialogue and you know, action decisions before I actually make them.
You watch too many spy vids, Jenkins.
So, if you've watched my, say, Skyrim LP, you'll know, I think, what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, and you're watching this LP as the first exposure to my channel, then you're probably, maybe you were wondering, what the hell does he mean? Taking his time slowly and going through it all. Is this going to be just a big, boring LP of him talking most of the time and less action? Well, honestly, probably yes. There'll be plenty of action, I'm sure, but there'll be a lot of incompetence on my part, and there'll be a lot of slow, thoughtful decision-making. Or at least, I would like to think that there will be a lot of slow, thoughtful decision-making. We shall see. Anyway, our friend Malcolm Shepard here just heard Dr. Chakwas and Corporal Jenkins jawing with each other. So let's find out what that was about.
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
I think my character would be a little put off by somebody so eager to see action, given that he knows what can go terribly, terribly wrong on a mission.
You need to calm down, Corporal. A good soldier stays cool, even under fire.
Sorry, Commander, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
What do you want to tell me about the Spectres?
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents
creepy
work
way to
directly
say
for
that.
the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
Ah, Charles Bronson. That is dangerous.
How do you control agents with unlimited power?
I suppose the Council could revoke the Spectre status of an agent who got out of hand. At that point, Citadel Security Services would take over.
C-Sec?
Those C-Sec grunts wouldn't stand a chance.
I agree.
Spectres were 20 ordinary soldiers. The Spectres police themselves. An agent goes rogue, they send another agent to take him down. That's Spectre justice.
The Corporal's confusing romantic legends with reality, Commander.
What about Nihilus specifically?
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people find them too rigid. Others still blame them for the First Contact War. As for Nihilus, I haven't said more than 2 words to him. He usually only speaks to the captain.
I heard Nihilus once took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself. Man, I can't believe I'm on a mission with an actual Spectre.
Anything you know about Eden Prime, where we're going?
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins?
Oh, he is.
What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development, so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the fields back at the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance. Even Paradise gets boring after a while.
And why is the ship headed there?
Any idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there. There's gotta be something else going on. We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so wound up. I can't wait for the real mission to start.
Alright, just cool off. Treat it like any other mission.
Do your job, follow my orders, and there won't be any problems.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself on Akuz. Everybody knows what you can do.
Yeah.
This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
That's all I can do. Alright, let's be careful.
You're young, Corporal. You have a long career ahead of you. Don't do something stupid to mess it up.
Don't worry, sir. I'm not going to screw this up.
Alright.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
So, in case you couldn't tell, I'm not playing as specifically Paragon or Renegade. I'm just kind of choosing things based on what I think the character would say, which I know kind of puts me at a disadvantage because certain things open up to you in the game if you have a higher Paragon or Renegade score. So playing in between will put me, I think, at a bit of a disadvantage, but it's more true to the role-playing, I think. Okay, so back to the Codex, everyone.
Roughly 1,200 years
we already heard this, didn't we not? Yeah, we did.
Invited to join the Citadel
and Galactic Government.
Spectres are agents from the Office of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance, and answer only to the Citadel Council. They are elite military operatives, granted the authority to deal with threats to peace and stability in whatever way they deem necessary. They operate independently or in groups of 2 or 3. Some are empathetic peacekeepers, resolving disputes through diplomacy. Others are cold-blooded assassins, ruthlessly dispatching problem individuals. All get the job done one way or another, often operating outside the bounds of galactic law. The Spectres were founded after the Solarians joined the Council. For many years they operated in secrecy as backroom problem solvers. Only after the Krogan rebellions did their activities become publicized. Assignment of a Spectre is less contentious than a military deployment, but makes it clear that the Council is concerned about a situation. Humanity's first contact with an alien race occurred in 2157. At that time, the Alliance allowed survey fleets to activate any dormant mass relays discovered, a practice considered dangerous and irresponsible by Council-aligned races. When a Turian patrol discovered a human fleet attempting to activate a relay, they attacked. One human vessel survived, retreating to the colony of Shanxi. The Turians followed, quickly defeating the local forces. Shanxi was occupied, the first and to date only human world to be conquered by an alien species. The Turians believed the handful of ships they defeated represented the bulk of human defenses, so they were unprepared when the Second Fleet, under Admiral Castany Drescher, launched a strong counteroffensive, evicting them from Shanxi. The Turians mobilized for full-scale war, drawing the attention of the rest of the galaxy. The Council quickly intervened, forcing a truce. Fortunately for humanity, the First Contact War was ended with a diplomatic solution.
Fortunately for humanity, or fortunately for the Turians, because Earth rocks! Woo! Earth! I already marked all those red, yeah. Ships and vehicles, starship sensors. This is one I get to read. Light lag prevents sensing in real time at great distances. A ship firing its thrusters at the Charon relay can easily be detected from Earth 5.75 light hours, 6 billion kilometers, away. But Earth will only see the event 5 hours and 45 minutes after it occurs. Due to the light speed limit, defenders can't see enemies coming until they have already arrived. Because there is FTL travel and communications, but no FTL sensors, frigates are crucial for scouting and picket duties. Passive sensors are used for long-range detection, while active sensors obtain short-range, high-quality targeting data. Passive sensors include visual, thermographic, and radio detectors that watch and listen for objects in space. A powered ship emits a great deal of energy. The heat of the life support systems, the radiation given off by power plants and electrical equipment, the exhaust of the thrusters. Starships stand out plainly against the near absolute zero background of space. Passive sensors can be used during FTL travel, but incoming data is significantly distorted by the effects of the mass effect envelope and Doppler shift. Active sensors are radars and high-resolution LADARs, laser detection and ranging, that emit a ping of energy and listen for return signals. LADARs have a narrower field of view than radar, but LADAR resolution allows images of detected objects to be assembled. Active sensors are useless when a ship is moving at FTL speeds. And that's an example of why I like this game over other, science fiction universes generally. They did an awesome job of thinking out the consequences of the world that they were building, I think. Of course, it's still some science fiction magic that has to happen. There being an element zero and some of the ways that they compensate for the distances in the galaxy, the fact that there's no such thing as simultaneity, different observers traveling at different speeds, see things happen at different times. All that stuff they kind of just brush over. But still, they did make an attempt to explain to the layperson player how this universe works, which I really appreciate. Much more than you would expect to see from a simple shoot 'em up, kill 'em up kind of video game. Alright, now, that said, let's actually get to the meat and potatoes of this prologue here.